Hey everybody, and welcome to another magazine flip through. And in this one, we're gonna have a look at Wargames Illustrated issue 442, October 2024. Now they're calling this one the Valor and Fortitude episode issue. So yeah, let's go with that. Now with this magazine, you get an official Valor and Fortitude Army Sheet booklet, which we will flip through as a bonus at the end of this video. So yeah, let's quickly look inside. Um, yeah. So as you can see over here, we got the forward from the editor, and it's kind of neat because they actually mentioned that or reminded us that they gave away the free copy of Valor and Fortitude in 2022, and then October 2022, and then October 2023, they released the second edition in Wargames Illustrated 430, and then in this one another October, and so that's 3 Octobers in succession. We get some Valor and Fortitude content, but this time we don't just get the army sheet, but we get a whole magazine that's dedicated to it, which is I think is a great thing. Over here as well, they mentioned that you got the some artwork from Marco Caparoni. That's the artwork right here. Shows the uh, Prussian troops firing during the Franco-Prussian War, which is actually kind of cool because that's one of the lists that you get in the Valor and Fortitude army sheets. And then at the bottom here, we got some miniatures from the collection of Michael Perry. But also, if you're following these flip throughs, um, because in some way you're not getting your copies of Wargames Illustrated, or you just enjoy flipping this watching these flip throughs, please note that the third part of the Vietnam vehicle series is not included in this episode, in this um, magazine, but it will be out in the next one. So that's that. That's the contents, and then subscription. Now, if you haven't subscribed to Working with District, why didn't you do it? Go ahead and do that. It helps because if you're subscribing, then they're probably strong enough to keep on printing WI. I mean, I get mine as printed, but I understand some folks don't want the carbon footprint and they want the digital form. In which case, just go do it. It's a good magazine. Okay, moving along with observation posts. And this one they talk about this company Bello Ludi from Netherlands. And what they do is they actually release a rule sets. Well, I'm from where I am at. I don't go to a lot of shows, which I did, but I don't go to a lot of shows, and because of this, I don't know about all these smaller rule makers in other countries. So this kind of articles are very good for me. So Bello Ludi, what they do is they make rules which are supposedly easy. I mean, the tagline is supposed to be is easy rules, tough choices, which actually gives you an idea of what it will be like. I think they're mostly one-page rules which you can easily like play with, and this is to introduce a whole new audience to the wargaming hobby. And in this observation post, we see the rules like the big battle game, 1660, 1721, and then we've got the Bellaludi Spellbound, which is basically the fantasy stuff, and then we got Vietnam, which is basically the Vietnam War. Um, Worth having a look at. So go ahead and Google Bellaludi and have a look at the rules. And if you could support them, get some. Moving along, we got Modifius' Fallout Factions Battle for Nuka World. Now, if you have been watching a lot of TV recently, or a lot of Amazon Primes, you probably know that Fallout was such a success, and this game is actually inspired by it. And what they do is they actually go through the game. It's kind of a huge article because you've got like one, two, and 3 bits, 3 pages for to review this game. And I think that shows what's in the box and what the potential of the box for them to have 3 pages worth of reviews. And then here are the miniatures and the card boxes. As you can see here, the terrain is there as well. Yeah, so Fallout factions. Moving along, we have Athena miniatures, and these are the War of the Roses Vinays, which is also quite nice. Now the thing about Vinays is you actually get to build a smaller diorama with like a lot of your miniatures actually acting out different characters. And it's sometimes it's difficult to actually find miniatures that actually fit because a lot of war game miniatures are basically in war poses, and sometimes they release this like NPC stuff. But it's nice when you have a whole set of just Vinets, so you can actually build Vinets from this. Yeah, if you're interested in Vinets, especially War of the Roses Vinets, check out Athena miniatures and go and get a set or two. Next up, Caliber books. No Daichi, no dice. And this, you can read over there. It's kind of neat because apparently this is great timing according to Wargames Illustrated. Because Wargames Atlantic has just released their 10 was it 12 samurai miniatures, and you can actually use these rules for that. So that's kind of cool. It's great that you've got like the miniatures that come in, and then you got caliber books making rules for that. Yeah. So that's the observation post. Moving along, we have the Battle of the Bulge, or the third edition. A promo Battle of the Bulge set. Moving along, we've got the release radar, and this is basically what's coming out. And here are the fistful of Mexicans, which is basically the knuckle duster miniatures. Um, these are the Wild West stuff. Nice looking figures. If you're into Wild West, yeah, get on over to Knuckle Duster and try them out. And then you have let me see now. What's this? This is the Last Valley. Yeah, the Last Valley. So apparently in this magazine, you got some Sarissa, but you also got some Last Valley stuff. Yeah. With minimal effort, very much. But yep, yeah, it's ready made. So that's kind of neat. Some terrain, bridges from Head Bunny games. Oh, all this is from Head Bunny games. So there you go. There you go. It helps to read beforehand, which I don't do because I want to, experience the magazine the same way you would. Okay, moving along, we've got Head Bunny games. Has also have not just terrain. They just released some 3D printed werewolves available at 28 Yeah, that's me just reading it. So it's all these miniatures are from Head Bunny games. Moving along, you got Footsore, and Footsore seems to be quite regular in the release pages of WI, and you've got some of the figures, the debauchery figures as they would call them, and you got a little bit of a fort, some figures from Callistra, and these are supposed to be these are Parthians. It's quite nice. And then moving along, we have Skull Crown, and this is the Burgundian War Wagon. Just it looks doesn't look that bad. It looks quite nice. Looks like it's made out of like maybe like two sheets. Yeah, looks nice. I don't do Burgundian wargaming, so if you do, I'm sure this would be a great addition. And then you got Peter Pig. I'm always happy when I see Peter Pig, simply because for as long as I've been collecting, you know whether it's be WI or MW, right? Peter Pig always has an ad in there, so they've been around for quite a while. It's kind of great that it's around. Moving along, we have let's see now. This is a book and produced by Mig, right? Ammo by Mig, scale modeling for beginners. Hmm. Well, these books don't really do well in my store, but if you're into um, scale modeling, I'm sure you can find some use for this. Maybe I'll try it. Maybe I will try this book, Modeling for Beginners. Yeah, we'll see. Anyways, moving along, we got an ad for Oathmark Battles of the Lost Age, and these are the I think the new heavy orc heavy infantry. Very nice. If you're into Oathmark, let me know if you like the figures in the comments. I kind of like them. I've seen a couple. They don't look that bad. Look pretty good actually. Okay, moving along, we have the cultural experience. Now, I'm looking at this one very, very closely because it's the defeat of Japan. I could double check this, but it seems like this is a walk into Singapore, which is basically close by to where Malaysia is, and it's going to happen. Oh wait, I missed this. I should have got this magazine earlier. But anyways, what this is basically the cultural experience, military history. So what is this? Is this walk? Is tours, historical tours, and it's kind of great that they're having this as an ad in the WI. So thank you very much. And I missed this one. It ends on the 12th of October. If you're watching this, that was months ago. Months ago. Anyways, moving along with Quickfire. And what's Quickfire? Quickfire is basically articles written by readers. Um, and they feature them here, which is very very cool. It helps build the community that way. And then you got there's a Deep Cut Studios. They've got another ad in the WI. So thank you for paying the bills, having to pay the bills. Next up is BritCon, and this article is actually broken up into a few parts. The first bit is actually the Valor and Fortitude at BritCon part. So here's where we see Valor and Fortitude being played at BritCon. Um, BritCon's in Nottingham, if I'm not mistaken. And so it's kind of cool. Lots of nice little pictures. If you are into miniature war games, I'm not so sure why you wouldn't pick up a magazine. Um, because all these nice pictures. These pictures are, you know, for a fact, many years down the line, you still be flipping through them for inspiration. So it's nice to have them on hand and not just digital. Because some of these sites tend to go down, So, having this as a record or a physical record is kind of great. Anyways, you got the Boondock Saints doing a this is the best of show, using the Valor Fortitude rules, and then you've got as they say in the WI, the glitterati, which I agree, the Perrys, you got Rick Priestley, you got James, I mean, if I were to head down to a convention like this, I mean, I wouldn't mind, getting an autograph or two from these guys. Anyways, moving along is elsewhere on BritCon, and this are all the other games that have been played. This is what BritCon looks like, which is great for a guy like me who doesn't go down to all these conventions to see what it actually looks like, and not just through the lens of a gimbal or a handphone. So you get an idea of the scope of how big BritCon actually is. Moving along, we have now this is Freaks. This I think this is the second time I've seen this advert so far, and this is supposed to be a skirmish game. It's set in a post-apocalyptic world of mutants. So post-apocalyptic uh, skirmishing. If you like that, check out Freaks. Moving along, we have Late War Leviathans, and this is a book from Flames of War, and these are all the big tanks that come in towards the end of the war, from the M26 to M4 Easy 8s, T29s and stuff like that. Okay, okay. Now moving along, we got Bolt Action Third Edition, and this. Now I like this article. Now in the previous issue, as they say here, they talked to Alessio Cavatore, and but this one they spoke to a fan. Now I like the way this article is done because at the end of each part of this article, there's a verdict. They call it a vibe, but it's more like a verdict. It's a personal verdict from Dom Sor, and it's his impression of the rules and whether it was good or not good, how he felt about it, which is an interesting read because when you're getting uh, feedback or rundown from the designer, you get a certain vibe, and when you read it from a fan, you get a different vibe altogether. So this is definitely worth a read, definitely worth getting the magazine just to find out, what the feedback is from a fan's point of view. Now moving along, we have First Core, and First Core has some buildings. These are Dark Age buildings, which kind of and some civilians as well. There's a little bug right there. Moving along, Public Enemies Part 2, and what this is basically, now these are all over the past couple of magazines. These are pictures that the article writer has written using miniatures to tell the story, which I think is a really great idea. Another way to enjoy the miniatures that you paint, because sometimes it's very difficult to find rule sets that fit, and you want to play certain kinds of rules. So because of that, it's definitely a good idea to just do some vignettes like this, take some pictures, tell the story. Nice article. I mean, I think this is part two. Part one was a issue before this. So yeah, yeah, good idea. Very very good idea. Next up, we got Heinz Figures putting an advert. So thank you, Heinz. Moving along, the Indian Rebellion in Valor and Fortitude. Now, this I think this army is, let me say very very quickly, blah 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 blah, because there are three army sheets that you get with the Valor and Fortitude sheet that you get free with this one. If I'm not mistaken, this one is not part of the. Yeah, this is the game they played at BritCon and done by the Boondock Saints, and they've put in here. So if you get the magazine, you pretty much get another like yeah, you get another army sheet all in. So in essence, you get a bonus one more if you get the magazine as well, which is a superb idea. Of course, if you want to also check out the Perry Miniatures site, you probably see all the other. You can actually download the rules, but I'm the kind of guy who likes physical, so it's nice to have a physical rule set for that, which I think is really really great. Okay, moving along, we got bringing a fantasy city to life. Now, um, when I first saw this article, I had a different impression because of these two books. I used to, collect a lot of this fighting fantasy stuff, so I thought this was basically an article based off these books. In many ways, it is. So it's basically an interview with let me see now. Yeah, Graham Davy and how he built his fantasy city and his interview. And he says he draws inspirations from this book. So, you know, just by seeing the cover for these books, I felt the need to go and like see whether I still had them. I should actually do some fighting fantasy book reviews. I mean, if you're into that, let me know in the comment sections if I should. I mean, I want to, but it's just when it's gonna come out. Anyway, so these are the this is the interview with the writer. Next up is the hobby section, and over here we can see the how to paint horses, which is kind of cool. If you're doing any historical stuff, at some point you'll be painting horses. Um, actually, even in World War II, you'll be painting horses if you're playing. I think was it the Polish? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but horses. It is horses in 28 mm. Let me just say though, for a person who's painting 10 or 13 or 15, there's a different way to do this. It's more or less the same, but you use lighter colors, and because of that, um, you probably want to go one step down when it comes to the color palette for these horses. But if you're doing 28 mm, you can actually use these guys. All of these colors are basically the army painter colors, and because of that, it's more or less a cheat sheet for getting some nice looking horses without having to keep on sampling and trying. Moving along, we got bill hooks for Polonia, and this is basically the 13 years war Poland. And this is basically it's a new theater for the Nevermind about bill hooks deluxe, and it's written by Marcin Sowa. So as you can see, there's a lot of there's army list over here, some scenarios for you to play with, some sheets. Yeah. Now, this bit of the magazine I really really like as well. This is Historicon 2024's painting competition. Um, Not all painting competitions get printed in magazines, so I'm glad that this one does. So you can see what's out there, the levels of painting, and you can see miniatures you don't often see, on the in your gaming uh, club. Now here in Malaysia, we definitely don't see many of these. I mean, most of the grim dark stuff perhaps, but some of these we don't see, which is why the channel trying to promote all this alternative miniatures, because there's a whole bunch of folks painting some really nice stuff, and it's nice that a magazine like Wargames Illustrated wants to feature them as part of print and also part of a proper competition, Historicon 2024. Yeah, definitely good to have, definitely good to keep, for collection's sake. Moving along, we got travel through Trollingchester, is that how you pronounce it? And these the full color MDFs from Sarissa. Look, Sarissa's been doing some great stuff, and the fact that they've got some fully colored MDF is great. It basically is one step of the whole modeling thing that you don't have to do painting. Just assemble and get on with it. Perfect, fantastic. Sarissa is yeah, Sarissa is on the forefront of this. So this is an interview with the let me see now, interview with Steve Cummings. Yeah, it's pretty much and yeah, this article talks about the new full colored terrain. Very excellent, very cool, very cool. Moving along, we got Art Master Studio, we got the other Partisan Game Show. All of these folks paying for advertising space. So thank you very much, because when you do that, the magazine gets to run. So I appreciate it. We got Nick R's North Star military miniatures paying the bills as well. Thank you. Then you got Mardave, Blitzkrieg, Bricks Krieg, Gunfighters Ball, Giants in Miniature. These are basically the Wargames Illustrated releases, which is kind of cool. They're paying for their own advertising. Skytrax Miniatures, Yeah, so thanks to all who actually advertise. Then there's the advertisement for next issue, which is basically never mind the matchlocks, pack and shot rules. That's another rule set that we'll get to look at for free. Great. Next up, Wargames Atlantic's Last War. Again, Wargames Atlantic to the fore, doing great stuff. Finally, as usual, as for many years, Saga or Gripping Beast gets the back page with some nice looking figures. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. That is Wargames Illustrated, uh, 442. So if you haven't, go and get it. Probably by the time you watch this, I'm not so sure whether there'll be any on the stand. If you find any on the stand, go get it. If you want to check out the back issues, I'm sure they got some back issues for sale. But having said that, you might find this at the local garage sale and stuff. At least you know what's inside, and then you can actually go and get it. It's not a bad issue, especially if you're into the whole Valor and Fortitude rule set. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Let's have a look at the Valor and Fortitude army sheets. Right, so here it is, the Valor and Fortitude army sheet compendium. Again, if you've been following, or if you've been buying um, issues for the last couple of years, every October there's something new from Valor and Fortitude, and this one is what you get from this October's Valor and Fortitude release. What do you call it, release? But it's not the second edition rules, but what it is the Army Sheet Compendium. And what army list you get in here? You get the American Civil War. So for those of you guys who have ACW miniatures, you know, this could work for you because now you can actually use the Valor and Fortitude rule set for American Civil War. Same goes for the Franco-Prussian War. Now, this war I'm not so familiar with, the First Carlist War, 1833, 1840. That's all I have to read up on and find out. But here's a very quick flip through. You got the army list. You got fate cards and description of the fate cards and the Franco-Prussian War. It's very text heavy, which is kind of cool because the book's actually quite thin actually. So it's very text heavy, but they were nice enough to put one or two pictures in the book, which I thought was fantastic. Russian army sheet, and then we've got the first Carlist War. I think Eagles of Empire have some Franco-Prussian miniatures, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I could be getting the name wrong, but those are some metal figures. You could use that, I guess. But you have to rebase them, though. But you could use that. Anyways, moving on, they've got first Carlist War. I got to read up what that is. But yeah, it's very text heavy, which is great because you know they're giving away a full sheet compendium. So you know, keep things cheap. If you're gonna give things away, but make them you know, quality packed with stuff. Nice looking pictures though. Yep, so that's pretty much it. That's the flip through of the Valor and Fortitude Army Sheet Compendium. This comes free with the Wargames Illustrated 442. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys like the flip through with Wargames Illustrated 442. Let me know if you like flip throughs like this. If you do, great. But we'll still keep on doing it if you don't. So yeah, thanks for the support. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget to enjoy painting this video.